How many times have you been at the cash register and the cashier asked you if you want to round up to donate to whatever cause the said company is pretending to care about to present a positive image to the public? Just for you to know deep down in your heart that you probably shouldn't even be buying this burrito right now anyway because you're currently putting it on Klarna credit. In this video, let's sit down together and spend some time discussing how the average individual is most likely relying on debt to survive these days. And if you personally can relate to anything discussed in today's video, or simply just been enjoying my daily doomer commentaries over here on the page, then don't forget to like, comment your thoughts, opinions down below, and subscribe to see my daily videos right here on the channel. And a huge shout out to the handful of you guys checking out those links down below in the description. Those are always some of the best ways to support me and keep me from putting stuff on Klarna credit. Anyways, let's begin this shit show.
Credit cards are smothering the average person in this country with high interest debt. Everyone's revolving credit card debt added together just crossed $1 trillion in this country, according to a recent report. The average American has over $7,000 worth of credit card debt revolving month in and month out. Basically, they're paying over $1,000 in interest each year. Credit cards advertise more than any other group of companies, more than gambling companies, big pharma, so on and so forth. They are at everyone's eyes at every event. Basically, credit cards are pervasive. They continue to win more and more as normal people are forced to turn to them and then accrue high interest debt that's very, very difficult and painful to pay off down the line. It's absolutely terrible what's going on as the cost of living is far outpacing people's wages in this country, and people can't earn a living to cover what they need to around them, even just basic needs, let alone wants, and, other things that people really, are looking to do in this life. It's terrible out there, and credit cards are not a good crutch. If you fall into it, for anybody who has fallen into it, please leave it in the comments. It's terrible. Until you get out, they are absolutely terrible. My advice would be to stay as far away from credit cards if you ever can. They're not necessary. You can have your primary residence manually underwritten one day if you want to take out a loan. Check out my video on manual underwriting for proof on that. And there's absolutely no need to be pressured by this lie of needing a credit score nowadays. It's just complete bullshit. They want you to think that you need a credit score. The elites, the top people in this country, they have normal people fooled. But this TikTok has just enlightened so many people that there's no need for a credit score whatsoever, and furthermore, credit cards are harming people.
Now, at least as an American citizen myself, as soon as you become an adult, they'll just flood you in your mail or any sort of, even, at school, they'll flood you with these credit cards, with these limits. They'll try to give you free money. They'll even give you a free pizza. And hopefully you sign up for these cards that if you spend $20 and forget to pay it off, the interest rates will screw you till the day you die and even potentially after that. And yeah, it's crazy to think how money is such a way to make more money that's kind of how a lot of these organizations end up finding their ways to kind of pick people's pockets. Now, have you found yourself applying for any of these, Target red cards, for any of these, I'm sure Walmart has a blue card or something like that, or any sort of ordeal like this, because almost every single organization, company, or even grocery store has some sort of setup like this, where, if you think they're just giving you money, they're just giving you free gas miles or whatever, it's because they're making more off of you than what they're giving you back for. That's the only reason or way they'd be able to have this set up in the first place. But do you find yourself falling victim for these things, or do you personally are intelligent enough, are you logical enough, do you have enough discipline in your heart, in your head, in your life to use these to benefit and not get screwed over? But the average individual, the reason why they're able to have these programs is because people don't do it right and they end up getting screwed over. So what do you think? Feel free to let me know down below in the comments.
I'm Bill Fair, the man who turned your life into a number. Back in 1956, Earl Isaac and I built the first credit scoring model. Banks wanted speed, so we gave them power. By the 80s, that became FICO, the 300 to 850 scale. And why 850? No magic. We picked a number that almost nobody could reach. Keeps you chasing forever. The average American? 715. Only 1.6% ever hit perfection. Everyone else pays more. On cars, on homes, on insurance. Some even lose jobs over it. One missed payment? That's 7 years in the penalty box. And the beauty of it all, Americans love it. They think it's fair. They worship the idea of merit, so they beg to be judged. Meanwhile, banks, landlords, and insurers rake in billions from every stumble. Other countries let people reset. Germany wipes scores after a few years. In the UK and Canada, you can fight back. But here, your past follows you like a tattoo. Should it be abolished? Maybe. Will it? Never. I built the cage, and America lined up to lock itself inside. And for me, that's the sweetest score of all.
Credit scores, something that, at least here in America, is an all too common reality that people find themselves. It's kind of like a hurdle, you try to find yourself jumping over, the hurdle. Sometimes you find yourself getting tripped up over it, and then sometimes the hurdle's way too damn high. You don't even want to even try to look at it to begin with. And that's kind of how, credit is. People find themselves trying to sustain it, and then once they fall off the wagon, they'll just kind of let it rot, let it go, and let it die off. But unfortunately, it's not really how modern day works. how if you really want to get ahead in society, you kind of probably going to have to leverage a little bit of debt. You're going to have to borrow something from somebody. You're going to have to kind of do some leverage here. You're going to have to like negotiate. And unfortunately, there's not much negotiation when you find yourself with staggering, increasingly rising interest rates. And in almost every sector, every regard, every category of life, this seems to be the case moving thus forward. So what do you personally think? Do you think interest rates in every sector will end up just crushing the individual? You think like the overall population will end up just rising up and saying, screw you, we're not paying to certain multiple things? Or what do you think? Feel free to let me know down below.
Americans have gotten considerably poorer relative to the rest of the world over the last 6 months. The US dollar index has dropped by almost 11% in the first half of 2025, which marks the worst decline on the US dollar index since 1973. And the bad news is that things are about to get much worse. When the US dollar index weakens, it means that the dollar is losing value relative to other currencies around the world. This includes currencies like the euro, the Canadian dollar, the Swiss franc, Japanese yen, and the Swedish krona. Over the course of the last 15 years, Americans have gotten used to seeing their purchasing power rise relative to the rest of the world. Since 2011, the US dollar index has risen by 36%, which has represented a massive increase in the wealth of Americans relative to the rest of the world. For instance, the dollar has risen by 27% against the euro, by 80% against the Japanese yen, by 67% against the Australian dollar, and the list goes on. Americans have gotten unbelievably rich relative to the rest of the world as a result of this appreciation of the US dollar. But, for better or worse, the current administration is on a mission to reverse this trend. Dating back to his first term in 2017, Donald Trump has consistently criticized the overvalued dollar. He has blamed it for Americans' huge trade deficit and the massive job losses in the manufacturing sector. And he's not entirely wrong. A strong dollar does disincentivize foreigners to purchase American-made goods and services, which naturally widens the trade deficit and has contributed to the loss of jobs in the manufacturing sector and other industries. Donald Trump's goal is to reverse both of these trends by weakening the US dollar. And as we're going to see, he's probably going to get his way. Today we are in a situation where the US interest rate stands at around 4.5%. If you compare that to the interest rate of the European Central Bank, for instance, it currently stands at 2.15%. So that means the gap between the two is roughly 2.35%, which theoretically makes the dollar much more attractive to hold today.
As interest rates continue to rise for pretty much every, sector across the board, every category, every factor, people don't have any spending power. They have no extra income. They have no extra money to go around. So when you're at Chick-fil-A, you're not buying the extra cheese sauce. You're not buying the extra large drink no more. You're buying the bare minimum. Honestly, we're not even doing drinks. When I go to the gas station, I'm not getting myself a hot dog. I'm not. I'm getting myself a cookie because it's half the price. This is what's going on these days. We're thinking about these. We're trying to penny pinch. Those little bit of change within the cup holder, within the little center console. It's not getting saved up no more. It's getting spent as soon as it gets put there. And that's a lot of people's current day reality. And you find yourself, finding a penny on the ground. And, before a penny on the ground, we'll leave it. These days, we're picking that shit up because every penny goes such a long way. Just like every subscriber does. If you guys have been personally enjoying these videos, feel free to sub. I definitely appreciate that. And a lot of you guys don't. So, here you aren't. So, I don't know why. You must hate me, but whatever. Either way, what are your guys' current reality in the world? Do you find yourself thinking that maybe in a year or so you can find yourself getting ahead? Do you guys have plans and ways to get ahead, or do you guys just kind of said screw it, shit's never going to get better, life is just the way it is and I only see it getting worse, so why even try so hard? We're just going to try to survive and live and enjoy what we can. But unfortunately, there is no surviving or thriving when money is constantly lingering over our heads. But that is just the current day reality, being an adult, an individual, and a human. Well, guys, that's going to wrap up another video of us discussing the lackluster society, how money is controlling us like, puppets and slaves and shitty people. Anyway, what do you guys think? Feel free to let me know all your guys' thoughts, opinions down below in the comments. I always love to read them, go through them, and respond to the ones I see fit. And a huge shout out to the handful of you guys checking out those links down below in the description. Those are always some of the best ways to support me and the content around here. Yeah, that's kind of it for me today. I've been trying to pump out as many videos as I possibly can. Still quality, still decent, topics. I want to make sure I actually get good quality videos out to you guys, but also this is kind of the only thing I got going for me right now, so expect major consistency through my channel and YouTube and me through this platform moving forward. Either way, hope you enjoy. Hope to see you in the next one. It's kind of it for me in this one, so